Happy Women's History Month, you beautiful nerds. The time has finally arrived. After years of angry tweets, petitions, and oh so many eye rolls from yours truly, the Snyder Cut is finally upon us. So grab a beer. Actually grab like 6. This movie is like 4 hours long. Because I'm gonna talk about But first, a prelude. In the year of our Lord 2014, Warner Brothers announced they were working on a Justice League film that would be released in 2 parts. For personal reasons, Snyder couldn't finish the film, so they hired Avengers director Joss Whedon to come in and finish the movie. I'm not going to talk about Joss Whedon and the allegations against him, or Ray Fisher, or pressures from the studio to change tone after the reactions of BVS, or really any of that shit. I just want to talk about Joss Whedon's Justice League for a sec. That movie is fucking garbage. Not a lot of people will argue with me on that. I'm not a fan of most DC films, but even the people who are hated this movie, if for no other reason than it wasn't Zack Snyder's vision. So now, 3 years after Justice League's original release, we get to see Snyder's vision. Let me start by saying that this movie should not exist. This is like if Lord and Miller were given a huge CGI budget to finish their solo film. Regardless of how you feel about how good the movie is, you gotta respect that the guy finally got to make the movie he wanted. Now, with all that being said, this is a very long, not very good movie. But why is it so bad, the audience wondered silently. Well, audience, to explain that, we gotta get into what the story was.
I'm putting together a team, people with special abilities. You see, I believe enemies are coming.
Stop right there. I'm in.
So thousands of years ago, an evil being named Darkseid came to Earth in search of something called the anti-life equation. He almost destroyed the planet and gained possession of it, but the Amazons, Atlanteans, the gods of old, humankind, and one Green Lantern he doesn't seem very good at his job. No shade, but he dies really fucking quick. Anyway, they all rallied together to defeat Darkseid and send him back where he came from. Now in present day, or present when it's when Batman vs. Superman came out. After Superman is killed, it sends a beacon out through the cosmos that Earth no longer has a protector, if you don't count all these fucking people. So now, Steppenwolf, another resident of Apocalypse, has come to Earth to find the mother boxes and destroy the Earth as a present to his ruler, Darkseid. Steppenwolf gathers these magical MacGuffins to do something, do some bad stuff. I don't know, I was high. He probably wanted to kill all humans. He looks like the kill all humans type.
Hey, sexy mama. Want to kill all humans?
So it's up to the Justice Friends to stop Steppenwolf and save Earth from the oncoming badness. When the team gets their hand on the mother box and realize that it can manipulate life, immediately everyone in the room is thinking, bring back Superman. Well, mostly everyone is thinking, bring back Superman. Bruce is thinking, bring back my parents and my adopted son.
All my friends are dead.
And that brings up the very important question, who deserves to wield the power to bring people back to life? And the answer is, no one. These guys are supposed to be the best heroes in the universe, and they don't realize that bringing someone back to life is just wrong. I get that Superman is supposed to come back in this movie, but they could have brought him back to life the way they did in the comics. I brought this up in my BVS review, but they already hinted at the end of that movie that Clark was still alive. So what was that dirt floaty shit about? Did Zack Snyder just kind of forget about this scene? Or I don't know, maybe it's a weird Kryptonian cadaveric spasm. The resurrection part isn't even the dumbest part of this plan. They mentioned earlier that awakening the mother box would draw Steppenwolf to it. Then later, when they activate the mother box, they have no plan for when he shows up. Instead of putting it somewhere safe or giving it to someone who can protect it, they give it to this nigga. Silas, who doesn't look like he has 2 good knees, is the only person standing in between. This is so goddamn stupid. It doesn't even really seem like they need Superman. This dude doesn't seem that strong. I mean, I never know how strong anyone is in these movies because none of the fights have any weight to them. They just kind of CGI bounce off of each other. But earlier, he barely beat you and it was just 4 of you. Like, with all 5 of you and all the Amazons that were coming over that hill and the Atlanteans that are doing shit all right now could have stopped Steppenwolf without having to disturb a corpse. I thought that's what they were foreshadowing in the flashback scene. For real though, were y'all seriously gonna chill at home and just hope everything works out? The fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyway, then Wonder Woman gives Steppenwolf a very R-rated death. And all the heroes pose together in slow motion, sans booyah. This didn't really have the pacing of a movie. Feels more like you're binge watching a miniseries, cause shit just happens in this movie until it doesn't. I will say that the movie looks great. Zack Snyder and his DP work really well together to make some beautiful shots. There is a lot of slow motion in this movie. I would love to know the ratio of scenes that were in slow motion to the scenes that were in normal speed. I'm willing to bet the slow motion beats out normal by a lot. Actually, I'm not willing to bet anything. but that's just because I'm broke. Bruce and Diana are still my MVPs of the flick. I mentioned in one of my other videos how much I love the romance between Batman and Wonder Woman in the comics, and they do a good job of pairing them together for most of this movie. I mean, of course they're gonna do that because they're the most popular alive characters, but I did like their chemistry together.
He said he'll fight with us?
More or less.
More or more less?
Probably more or less.
He said no.
He said no.
The cyborg stuff was pretty good. It did feel like the story was crammed into this movie when it should have been in a movie all of its own though. That's part of the reason why the Snyder Cut is so long. There's a lot of character building in this movie, which isn't inherently bad. It just belongs in a different movie. I was also kind of surprised by how bad the CGI costume still looked. Y'all had all the time in the world to get the CGI right. The CGI everywhere else looks great. Why does my man still look like booty? I don't know why they put him in a CGI suit anyway. His costume isn't that much more encompassing than the Flash's. Cyborg's costume actually looks way better on Doom Patrol, and they definitely don't have this kind of budget. It just felt like the design for his costume was an afterthought. This version is definitely better than the original. The Martian Manhunter shit was the only one that felt like it straight up didn't belong. Not just because Ben Affleck was clearly like 15 pounds lighter in this scene than he was in the rest of the movie, but it also felt like the sole purpose of this scene was just to explain why John didn't do anything in Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman or this movie. The world still needs Lois Lane. The fuck? The world needs you, nigga. And have you not noticed an alien invasion going on? But again, the Amazons and the Atlanteans inexplicably sat this one out too, so I guess he gets a pass. But let's talk about the ending, cause that was one of the biggest changes from the original movie. So it seems as though Steppenwolf's plan works, and it looks as though the whole planet is destroyed. Apparently, Barry pulls a page out of Richard Donner's playbook and runs so fast he reverses time, allowing Cyborg to save the day. This scene looked pretty cool. Why does Ezra Miller run so weird, by the way? This nigga runs weird as fuck. He looks like fucking Phoebe Buffay when he runs. I guess all this created an alternate timeline, which is what we see toward the end. Like the vision from Batman vs Superman, it's left ambiguous whether it's real or not. It might as well be the end of the Community episode, Remedial Chaos Theory, and Joker is Abed.
Guys, I've been thinking about that night over and over. One thing has become clear. This is the darkest, most terrible timeline.
The scene also isn't written very well. The dialogue is so stupid and meandering. I get that Zack wanted a scene with these guys together, but just no. I have personally had a very strange ride with this flick. I went from insisting that everyone was an asshole for thinking that it existed or could exist, to getting so sick of hearing about it and assuming Zack Snyder was totally full of shit in all these interviews where he was talking about it and what he would have done, to the announcement that we were getting the Snyder Cut and realizing that I was the asshole.
Oh, I guess I'm the asshole.
To being kinda excited about seeing an admittedly historic film that might be pretty good, to being sick of hearing about it again, to now where I'm sleep deprived, over caffeinated, and watching a 4-hour movie for the second time through one bloodshot eye thinking, is this good? Am I enjoying myself? And I don't think I did. There are things I liked about it, but ultimately it falls in the same category as BVS. This rich universe of characters has all the potential in the world to be incredible. And you know what? To some people it is. A lot of people love these movies. But I ain't one of them. My ranking, I didn't like it. Call me a hater, but I am not a fan of Zack Snyder directing these superhero movies. There are thousands of incredible DC stories that have already been written, and for whatever reason, Zack Snyder cherry picks the ones that he likes, and like a 7-year-old trying to tell a complex joke, he tells the punchline way too soon. I love Dawn of the Dead though, so, you know. There's that. Before you guys head out, if you liked this video, go ahead and click the like button. I got a review of Wonder Woman coming out in celebration of Women's History Month. But until next time, stay safe, my little boom tubers, and may the force be with you.